I'm gonna reveal the rest of this photo as soon as I know we're up and running and all that. It's my favorite picture of my dad, and I
Well,
have
yeah.
it's been on my desk every day, like it's there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Now, live from Chicago, the Hal Sparks radio program Mega Worldwide.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Hal Sparks, actor, comedian, and multimedia personality.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hal Sparks.
All right, let's do this.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. It's the Hal Sparks radio program Mega Worldwide, now with 100% more Johnny Million. It's good to be with you.
That's me.
This lovely Saturday in a crazy. I always have a hard time naming the show, especially after what I've been through in the last month. You get in this mix up of should it be something poetic or should I just compartmentalize? And considering what I'm going through and my nature and the nature of my family being very much on the same page as a bunch of crazy people, I came up with this idea of when Trump was looking for a Marjorie Taylor Greene nickname, where he went Brown first and then had to explain it, and then he went to Marjorie Trader Green, which is been around for a while but made popular by our friend the Major, and has really pushed that one. And I just decided to go with Marjorie Turntail Green because I feel like it's indicative of where we are right now. And I don't think
it's just running from everything.
I have had certainly a few moments over the last year where everybody was panicking, and I irritated the crap out of everyone by not panicking. And one of the
You
reasons
don't panic nearly enough, my man.
No, and I'm not going to, and just get used to it. And look, it's not like you're short of panic, right? I feel like where people are overserved in the panic department, if that makes sense. Online, there is plenty of pearl clutching and devastation and catastrophizing and doom scrolling. And I feel in that situation, you can either, join them or beat them. And since reality will ultimately beat those folks, I've decided not to join. And I also can't. I'm incapable of joining that. It is not, whether it's genetic or my parents beat it into me, or just the circumstance of growing up completely screwed from the beginning. Let me make an example of this, and then I think context is important when you're talking about these things, Johnny Million. You and I were talking right before the show that we have, variances in our parental experiences, and they're fairly stark, I suppose. And there was we were talking about
Mrs.
how
Million just walked by to see me doing that.
What? I'm glad you're covering hard news, Johnny. That's what she's saying.
Yeah,
she's like,
exactly.
Roll her eyes. So I was trying to figure out. We were talking. I had to write my father's obituary this week, and it's impossible. And so the one that the funeral home does it for you.
Felonies alone.
Right. Well, I figure you can Google those now. I just had a little. And by the way, all of those things are no longer illegal. So for the record, anyways,
statute of limitations. And now that he's dead, I mean, he can like shout that from the rooftop.
I mean, morally, the country has moved on. Yeah, a lot of them were only laws that applied in the 1800s. My dad had a tendency to be like that, as is shown, by the way, in my favorite picture of my dad, which I am showing online right now. Which one of the reasons why it's my favorite picture is because he is holding a snake. If you see this in the image,
that's awesome.
That is just a snake.
It's not a divining rod. It does look like he's trying to find some water.
Well, he's got this. We've always said the look on his face was, "Where would you like this?"
That is intimidating. That's how he seduces people too.
Yeah.
Why would you like this?
Oh, indeed. Yeah. And he's wearing full-on long johns. He's the kind with the panel in the back, but he's got jeans and a belt on and a bowler hat from the 20s, I think, or the 1910.
That's amazing.
Officially.
I really wanted that bowler hat, that little rectangle there to say press, but Hal denied me.
No, that is his muzzle-loading shooter card for the shoot that they were having.
It sounds like a Star Wars insult. You muzzle-loading a shooter card?
Yeah, right. Well, it does, yeah. And it would be in that, well, I don't know, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I've always been shocked they weren't using muzzle-loaders. But, like, how long ago are we talking? So, I found out a few things about my dad in this time period. There's the whole snake. I'm just going to show that online. It's pretty great. Yeah. And, you find out these things about folks, and my dad was
Chad was very impressed.
Yes. My dad was really good at making friends with a lot of disparate people. And that is a trait that I myself picked up from him, that I will fearlessly befriend people who would never be friends themselves. And the thing, yes, hello, right?
Hello?
Yeah.
Of whom I feel very called out.
But there was a general, I mean, because the world we lived in Kentucky, especially in Peaks Mill, the little log cabin I grew up in. I am not kidding, people. I grew up in an actual log cabin for the first from when I was 4 to when I was 14. We lived in Peaks Mill, Kentucky. I found out something though about myself that completely makes about my young travels that I did not know until my mother laid out the timeline. Yes, that I was born in Cincinnati. But my dad and my mom were going to... Yeah, you're right. And, and the nurse all gathered around. Right. So...
Wow.
It wasn't... I won't use a blues riff. I honestly came out to a Bill and Ted's, Steve Vai squeal. But we moved when I was 2 years old. From when I was 2 to I was 3. And in less than a year, we moved 4 times. We moved from Cincinnati to Fairmont, West Virginia, to Georgetown, Kentucky, to Peaks Mill, to Louisville, and then back to Peaks Mill, where we stayed. In less than a year. My parents bought 2 houses and sold them. By the way, our house in Peaks Mill cost $8,000.
Isn't that wild?
Because it was 1974, and no one wanted to live out there. And it was the only place we could afford. We couldn't afford any closer. My dad worked for the state, and the state government is in Frankfurt, but we couldn't move any, we couldn't afford to live any closer than Peaks Mill. And the reason this place, it was a fixer-upper. My dad was, very much into the fixer-uppers. And I want to tell everybody, this is why I speak maggot, by the way. And why a lot of times when I'm doing stand-up, I'll make jokes about the South because I'm from there. And people ask me, do you change your jokes when you go to the South? And I say, no. If anything, I double down because I have every right.
You have to
these ridiculous upper middle class maggots in their pickup truck F-150s, shiny with truck nuts on the back, that they never have driven through a field in their life. That they used to drive to Costco. I will go toe to toe with being country with any of these folks, and I think if this picture of my dad is proof positive. Many people have seen me and my dad in our buckskins. I posted that on my Instagram.
That was pretty fantastic. And you look absolutely bamboozled by whatever's in front of you, my man.
Oh, I'm just like a camera. What is this crazy contraption from the future?
What's that thing?
Right. I'm not kidding. I think I'm one of the least photographed children in the world because of that. And chat room, thank you guys for all the lovely things you've been saying and all the stuff that you guys have been posting on the videos. I'm sorry I have not been doing shows, but I'm also not sorry because I've spent a very necessary time with family. So we'll be back right after this. It's the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide.
Mega. Meow, wow.
You're a very talented fellow, Johnny Million.
Pew.
Yeah. Okay. So there's my dad and that guy right there. That's Harry Bickle. Harry Bickle gave me my first electric guitar. It was a Sears electric guitar, and it's made out. The body's made out of balsa wood, and the neck's like a baseball bat.
60 seconds.
My dad was in more bands than I have been.
Wow.
Yeah. There's Doc Hamilton and Charlie Cushman and Vince Gill. Who I found out
Guy can breathe underwater.
Yes. Do you know Vince? Do you know Vince's work? Do you know who he is?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. He's with the Eagles now.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because that one guy who they get rid of, he's actually still alive. The guy who plays the other half of the Hotel California solo, Joe Walsh, and someone who's difficult. People will chime
Vince
in.
Gill. Yeah, right. Okay,
And Vince Gill now.
Yes, the Vince Gill. Vince is incredibly talented, ridiculous, amazing guitar player just on his own.
This is Tom Hartman, and you're listening to the Hal Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide, on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT.
So while I'm crowing about while I'm JD crowing about my bluegrass bona fides and the fact that I grew up in Kentucky, far more country than Mike Huckabee or any of these other posers pretend to be with their $800 suits and their, hunting in their jodhpurs, while pretending to be Bubbas or some nonsense, which is garbage. My dad had a band called the Buzzard Rock String Band, among others. He was in a bunch of other ones, but he and his buddy Harry Bickle formed the Buzzard Rock String Band, and they played around.
And Hal and I had a recording project called the Buzzard Rock Sponge Monkeys.
Right, because we were silly. And so I'm going to read a little excerpt from an article that was done about my dad in the Northern Kentucky Tribune, real quick, and then we'll move on to why that all these people saying in Congress, all of them, black, white, north, south, all of them saying y'all are posers. Stop it. All of you guys went to a fancy school. Stop saying y'all. Stop trying to podunk your way into ingratiating yourself with rednecks. It's embarrassing. Okay. While gaining architectural experience, Harry played with additional musical groups, including the Queen City Balladeers. One day, the Mitchell Trio, previously known as the Chad Mitchell Trio, was booked to play across the street from campus. A man named John Duchendorf took Chad's place that night, and for some time after, unexpectedly, a banjo was on the fritz. The man helping the group set up at the Wilson Auditorium, Mike Zorchek, said that when band member Paul's banjo needed repair, he simply said, "Call Harry Sparks. He's an architecture student and is a whiz at fixing string instruments." I came to the auditorium with a bag of tools and fixed Paul Prestipino's banjo. They offered to pay me, but I declined. It was such a pleasure to be in the company of these professionals. Duchendorf happened to have studied architecture too and was elated to have an expert nearby to repair the instrument. The trio played until 11 p.m. and then signed autographs, while Harry's group played at the Candlelight Cafe at the other end of campus. The trio came to the Candlelight Cafe and they all ended up jamming together into the wee hours of the morning. A couple of years later, Duchendorf tracked down Harry to repair a guitar. He said, "Oh, by the way, I've changed my name to John Denver."
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Denver took a cab to Harry's house and chatted while Harry repaired his guitar. From then on, Harry received backstage passes whenever his friend John Denver was in town. He even got a frantic call to come to Denver's home in Aspen. So he got a true Rocky Mountain high as he spent a week there taking apart the banjo of Denver's band member, John Summers, and putting it together with a new tone ring. Summers is the composer of the hit, Thank God I'm a Country Boy. So...
Oh, quick fun fact. You know how much I love the Orioles?
Yes.
That is the 7th inning stretch sung for the Baltimore Orioles. And
which makes
it remains
no
so,
sense, right?
Makes 0 sense, except for back in the day when that song came out, one of the players was like, we need to quit playing this hokey stuff. Let's play something that's new and modern. What about that new John Denver song? so it's because it was a new hot single that it was adopted, and now it just is weird.
Mm-hmm. So that if I had decided at a very young age to not be an actor and comedian, and had decided I wanted to be a bluegrass musician, my road was paved. I could have just glided down, to the, by the way, the 4th tier of fame that is the world of bluegrass. Right. I could have slid right into that and just, it was, and if you ever want to learn how to play an electric guitar, get a father who insists on having acoustics all over the place.
Yes.
That said, I've been learning the banjo on my dad's banjo that he built with his friend John Dutiel for about 6 to 8 months. So many people remember that I brought one home because he had given it to me. And then there's another one that he had that I am inheriting. Along with an acoustic he fixed up that is the same age as he is. It's a 1940 D28. That was that's so I don't know. Yeah,